This was up by a whopping 198.3%. So how is the overall EV market looking like here in China? Is NIO still maintaining the dominant lead ahead of all the competitors? Which vehicle models are doing well and which vehicle models are not? How are the competitors being beaten by NIO? All that in this one video. Don't forget to smash the like button. So let's start from the lowest to the highest, all right? So last week, for the 777, ET7, ES7, EC7, NIO delivered 167 vehicles, which was unfortunately down 133 from the week prior and 124 from the same time last month. No big deal, all right? These cars are kind of expensive. Moving on. And they were never the primary volume drivers. Next up, the ES8 deliveries for last week, 369, which was unfortunately down 170 from the week before and down 115 from the same time last month. Again, ES8 is also a very expensive vehicle. Next up, we got the ET5, ET5T. These are categorized together because the stats and data from Dongchedi just puts them together. So last week, NIO delivered 870 ET5 and ET5Ts, which was unfortunately down 614 vehicles from the week before and 819 from the same time last week. Now the drop is mainly due to the promotion, the inventory car promotion. Most of those inventory cars have been sold. So we did unfortunately see a drop over here. And also this car is being severely hit by the price cuts from the competitors, but we'll look into that in a bit. Next up, of course, we got the big boy, the ES6. Last week, they delivered 2,336 ES6s, which was week over week down 311. But compared to the same time last month, we are up 1,553 vehicles, up a whopping 198.3%. This is the one that really matters a lot, because if you go to the delivery center, you're going to see ES6s everywhere. So over here we have a chart so we can better visualize what everything looks like. And you can see compared to the same time last week, we are up quite a bit, but we are curving down in general for all vehicle models. Now, is this only exclusive to NIO? The answer is, of course not. Everybody is seeing deliveries down for last week. For example, Zeekr 001. Last week, they delivered 1,266, which was down 643 from the week before and up 398 from the same time last month. And then BMW i3, they only delivered 974 vehicles last week, which was down 459 from the week before, but up 106 from the same time last month. And then finally, we got the BMW iX3. They only delivered 442 of those last week, which was down 215 from the week before and down 50 from the same time last month. Now, the reason we're comparing these is because BMW and Zeekr, and NIO make up pretty much everything about the entire luxury EV market here in China. Everybody else, like Mercedes and Audi, they make up a very slim amount. It's not even worth talking about, all right? So of course I had to plot this on a chart so we can take a better look at what that thing looks like. And here it is. We can tell if we compare them, Zeekr actually took a rise up, and that rise up was mainly due to a lot of they announced a price cut, a massive price cut. But you see Zeekr's delivery volumes are also falling. It's a market-wide thing. Everybody's deliveries for last week was falling compared to the week before. Everybody, it's trending down. But one thing you'll notice is that the BMW i3 has now actually delivered more last week than the ET5 and ET5T. So that is something that seems like we need a little bit more emphasis on. In my opinion, the biggest competitor with the ET5 is the i3 and the Zeekr 001. And it's very imperative that NIO improves the sales number for this car to get above Zeekr and BMW i3, which right now that vehicle model is not above those two competitors. Now, of course, looking at the bigger picture, you can tell clearly NIO has the definitive lead against everybody, against Zeekr and BMW. NIO just delivers way more luxury EVs. And right now, if you ask someone if they're going to buy a luxury EV and they know EVs in general and their budget is 300k RMB plus, most of them will say, I want to buy a NIO. That is what we want to see. Now, if we look at this pie chart, which is the pie chart of the luxury EV market for September 4th to September 10th, and these are rough numbers because I haven't included the Zeekr X, which is much cheaper vehicle, but you can see that NIO has overall a 58% market share of the luxury EV segment. That is just massive. It is just wiping out the competitors, slapping them on the face, and it shows that NIO is absolutely winning. Who else has a 58% market share in that segment that they're competing in? Only NIO does. However, that does not detract us from the fact that the ET5 and ET5T combined used to be at second place back in the first week of September, has now shifted to third place, even behind BMW i3. Now, of course, the next heavyweight that we're going to be adding to this list very soon is the legendary EC6. That's going to start deliveries on Saturday and Sunday, and that will actually impact the numbers for this week's deliveries. But more importantly, next week's deliveries will be severely impacted by this and just given a massive boost ahead. However, right now it seems like we need to focus more on the ET5 and ET5T, really propel that to the #1 spot compared to Zeekr and BMW i3, which have been winning through price cuts. I think for NIO's strategy right now, they should absolutely cut prices on the ET5 and ET5T as well. Yes, margins might take a hit, but do not cut prices on ES6 and the other guys. Keep those guys. Lower the price entry barrier for your cheapest vehicle, and maybe even offer some further promotions on that vehicle. The one thing to note is that for the Zeekr 001, the lighter variant is coming very, very soon, and that will actually boost the sales of Zeekr's vehicles as well. So it'll be a pretty tough ride for the NIO ET5 and ET5T to get to the #1 spot this month. Now, do not forget, back in July and August, pretty much through the entire August, we can see on the green ET5 and ET5T were doing much better than Zeekr and BMW i3 at the #1 spot. But now it has retracted to the #3 spot compared to those two cars. Overall, I think NIO should maintain the prices of all vehicles across the board except for the ET5 and ET5T. Lower the prices of those slightly, just so slightly, and that will help deliveries tremendously as well. Overall, my prediction for this week, we got 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, of EC6 deliveries. Even though these are early bird deliveries, but we will still see a small impact of that, probably a few hundred at least. But then the weeks following that, you're going to see a steady increase on EC6 deliveries as they ramp up and customers start ordering and getting the cars delivered. So I'd say everything is looking pretty good throughout the overall picture. All right, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.